Hey, welcome back, everybody. On the bench today, we have a Kenwood TK-880. This is a UHF mobile radio. It's pretty good radio. This one, obviously, was snipped out of a truck, and it's unknown if it works or not. So let's repair the antenna connector, the power connector, and let's see if it works. Right off the bat, I see that there is a screw missing, and that's not a good sign. I don't see anything very obviously done to it. This coil here looks like it's been spread open a bit, which is it's probably fine. It's a little unusual. So we'll pull this speaker out. I'll have to find another screw for the cover. I'll take the bottom cover off so I can get to those wire leads. So our power connection is right here. Our antenna connection is there. Let's get the solder sucker turned on, warmed up. I do a lot of work with these radios, so I do have quite a few spare parts laying around, like this antenna pigtail, which I will swap over from a donor radio. Power cable, I'm just going to make a new one. I do have a grommet, same grommet there. We'll put my favorite T connector on instead of the usual Kenwood one. I prefer the ICOM style T connector, this style here. Something to grab onto this. Focus. That's the easy one. Power one's going to be a little more difficult. A lot of solder and a lot of ground plane. Remember, just going to pull on these while I heat them up so I can pull them out. Again, this ground wire is the harder one. Again, it's quite the ground plane. There we go. Did not damage anything in the process. That's good. Okay. This is pulled from a parts radio. I have a few of them that are just the laying around that are just the kind of undesirable 8-channel ones with no LCD display. Those ones I find nobody really wants them. I mean, they're good for repeaters and things like that, but a few of them are just not worth restoring or fixing. Got nice separation there between my let's make a power cord now. Okay. That way. Do the ground first. needed quite a bit of heat. Positive. Of course, it's fraying. I don't want to tin this because the hole's only so big. Of course, it's fighting me. Might have to get the solder sucker on it, man. That's better. Much better. This is 14 gauge wire I'm using. Normally they're 12 gauge, and I would use 12. However, this is only a 25 watt radio, so I'm not too worried about it. If it was a 50 or 40 or 50, then I would consider the 12, but this is good enough. Good enough for the girls we date. And as you can see, the grommet is not grommeting. So I'm going to put some super glue in it. But first, I want to put my T connector on while I'm tossing it around. So I curl it over the insulation and the exposed copper like so. Doesn't matter if it frays out just a little bit, because I'm going to solder it as well. That's usually how I do it. A little crude, but works for me. I make it hot enough that the solder is getting in underneath that crimped brass. And let it dry, and that's solid. That is not going anywhere. One thing to keep in mind when you do this, I'm getting this pretty damn hot. And what you don't want to do is instantly plug these into the plastic connector, because it will melt the connector. Just let it cool down for a minute or two. So I won't glue this until I put the cover on to hold it in place. I'll use some decent glue. This is the Loctite, I think it's $4.95. Yeah, $4.95. And it's basically super glue, but better. I'm not gonna put the cover on until we test this thing, obviously. Get the speaker hooked back up. Still got its foam. And now that's cool enough that we can put that in. Ooh. Where's my click? There we go. There's my click. Perfect. Okay. I like to test on the Motorola set because my LP700 does not do UHF on my digital meter. Okay, there's some stuff programmed into it. Looks like they were in the San Francisco area, Oakland, Sacramento. I don't know if these are repeaters for ham or if they're some kind of emergency or police. Looks like they have... Don't have much set up button-wise. Kenwood mic on here and see what we're putting out. What I want to do is let's plug this into the computer and see what exactly it's doing. I want to put proper test frequencies in. My Kenwood cable. There's my Kenwood cable. Put that into the trusty old programmer. Alright, let's try this way. I just created my own file. Let's see if I can just write it. Okay. So let me write. Now is it going to let me read without the password? Yes, it will. Okay, that's fine. I lost everything that was in it, but I really don't care what was in it. So now we've got something to work with. So I put those on high power. Got our test frequency set now. On high. There we go. We're getting 20.5 watts, and this is a 25 watt radio, so that's what I expect to see. This is RMS actual power. It's not peak. 20.5 on so that's wideband, and then I did the same with narrow, which right now doesn't really make much of a difference, but it will when I test with the signal generator here to see what our receive sensitivity is like. So we're gonna go 444.440 megahertz, FM 1 kilohertz, RF level. Wow, that's quiet speaker or a weak receive. Really? So that's S9. Wow. So we're at minus 112 and it's already gone. So the receive on it's a little bit weak. What I'm mainly concerned with is the volume is awful. A couple other Here's another Kenwood speaker we can try in there. Okay, that is much better. Let me just write on this one NFG, so we know it's so good. With the cover on, that'll sound a lot better. Yeah. So it's not too bad. I don't think my filters are bad. I think I just need to do proper alignment on it. Now that this, let's turn it off. Now that this speaker's in here, I can hear the tone. So I think all I'm going to do then is an alignment, and that'll clear it up. But first, let's glue this and get the cover back on. I probably need to get in here to adjust these for the alignment. I haven't done the UHF one. I know on the VHFs you do need to get in here. Everything's software, which is great. I go into test mode. Pushing it in there. This is very crude. It's already starting to stick though. So let it seep in. And now I'm just gonna leave it, and that should do it. Alright, well, thanks for watching, everybody. We saved another radio from trash. There wasn't really anything wrong with it other than it seemed like it was snipped out of a car, probably for radio upgrades, or car in the junkyard selling the truck or whatever. They just ripped it out, get rid of the vehicle. I see it all the time. Yeah, it's a great little radio. It's only 25 watts, but it's perfect for GMRS or ham radio, UHF. As you can see, I easily put in ham radio frequency into it, and it warned me in the software, but still let me do it. Didn't care. So yeah, great little radio. Somebody will make good use of it. It's probably just going to go up on eBay after I do the alignment. I think I might even just keep it on the bench for a while as a kind of scanner, because I currently don't have anything sitting on here, and I'm in a basement, so UHF is kind of the better way to go for me for local repeaters at the moment when I'm down here. Yeah, alright, well, thanks for watching, everyone, and make sure to hit up the comments and let me know what you think. Thanks.